So what kind of vision should you have when you're shooting, and how will it help you shoot better?
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
Hey guys, Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant. This is your Mantis Dry Fire Monday, and we're on Active Self-Protection Extra today. You knew that because you came to the channel, right? All right, so we're going to talk about vision, which there's no way for me to demonstrate vision for you. Vision is a very complicated thing for human beings because it involves perception, not just seeing. And then there are a lot of factors involved. Age is a big factor. Actual vision is it. If you wear glasses or contacts, all this affects it. And then enter the present mode of aiming, which is the red dot system. You know, we used to say, if you've got a red dot on your gun, welcome to the future, but now it's welcome to the present. Majority of my classes, I'm seeing people with red dots, and I think, 10 years from now, we won't see anything else in class. They're really the way to go. But this works whether you're on a red dot or whether you're on iron sights, because there's different ways to look at things, okay? A lot of people that teach shooting teach about guns, but you have to look at it from an athletic standpoint, all right? If I'm playing a sport and I only focus on one thing, that means everything else is excluded in my field of vision. So if I'm playing middle linebacker in football and I don't pay attention to what's happening on the line and how they're setting up and what the running back's doing, and I just watch the quarterback, it's very easy for me to not be able to see what's going to happen on the rest of the field. Same thing as a former fighter. I look at the center of the body because I can see everything, all right? I don't look at the button on the shirt or the center of the chest. I look at it and I see the hands and feet because that's where spatial awareness lines up, okay? In the fight game, it's very hard to hit people in the head, so there's a bit of predictive movement in it, and it's better for us in peripheral or panorama vision to predict movement than it is in the foveal detailed cone that we use to look at things. So if you learn to shoot iron sights, you were taught to have a crisp front sight, be able to really see it, and that's good for a very deliberate type of shooting. But Brian Eno's talked about the 5 levels of vision in his book. He says there's 5 different ways to look at it. It's from utter target focus and just alignment of the gun to a precision top of the sight. So there's more than one vision. Your perception is going to matter too. People that have traded to the red dot that have been shooting iron sights for a long time, what they simply tend to do is they're not shooting the dot the way it was intended to. They've just traded an electronic sight for an iron sight. And what we want to do is we want to trade to stereoscopic vision. A lot of you have suffered where you have to close one eye because otherwise you get doubling, you don't see particularly well, or you learn to turn that channel off, or in my case, I tend to shoot the thing that was on the right. I always got doubling on the back side, I got doubling on the target. The front sight may have been clear, but everything else was not clear. So I learned to let go of one image and use that perception, but that's suboptimal at best. It's not the best way to do things. And if I have to manage somebody, I want to see everybody, not just the sight. I want to see as much of the area as I can, so I want to open up my vision. So Musashi talked about this in the book of 5 Rings, and he talked about having a soft gaze. And the difference is when you have a hard gaze and you narrow down to look at something, the head drops, the muscles of the eyes contract, and the eyes come together and narrow, and that's what accommodation is. So I'll see people on the line and they go to shoot their dot, and I'll see this posture. And at that point as a coach, I know one of 2 things. Either they have a poor postural alignment and it's going to hurt their shooting because they've dropped their head and their neck forward, or they're staring at the dot. The target will tell me the truth. If I have a lot of rounds around the center of where they're trying to shoot, I know they're dot focused at that point. If you look at the target, what I want you to do is open up your vision and see as much as the target as you can, or even targets next to it would be awesome. If you have a hard time with that, pretend like you're looking through the target, and that will help you a lot. Remember, the dot does not have to be clear, nor does your front sight have to be. What we have to do is have a spatial alignment, okay? When you drive your car, you don't stare at the front hood so you can aim it. What you do is you pay attention to everything, and you align yourself in space, and that's the way we really want to shoot, too. We want to track motion and alignment. We don't have to see clarity in the same detail, okay? So when you have good posture and you're looking at the whole target, what happens is the head is up, the posture is neutral, and then I cannot see the window, the cowling, or the backup sights. A lot of people, they want to co-witness their sights together, and I think it's a bad idea because my iron sight should be separate of my red dot sight, and I don't want to see them at the same time. I want to look at the target and have the red things in it. If you have an astigmatism, it may not be a dot, maybe some other shape, but I want to see the red thing in there. And when I'm shooting really fast, I'm going to shoot the motion of the dot. I'm going to predict where it's coming in. It's a lot like shooting clays. I have to shoot slightly ahead of it, so I'm going to be good on the prep. Okay? So try opening up your vision, see more of the target or look past it. Try not to make a clear dot. Remember, if you can see the window or the cowling, you're dot focused. And then more importantly, if you have to put the dot in the center of the window, you're dot focused, because you can't do that when you're looking past it, because there is no hood, there is no frame around it, so how could it be in the center? The dot can be anywhere in the window, it needs to be on the target is what matters. And then we have to clearly define what good enough is, because the dot will be in motion, and if I hit the target, that's good enough, and if I miss the target, that's not good enough, so I fix it that way. Try opening up your vision, head up, eyes open. You can tuck your chin a little bit, but try not to do this one where you lean, you put your head down, you look through the top of your eyes, because it is really affecting your ability to track the dot and to shoot well and to line things up in space. Another thing for your iron sight shooters, if you've got 3-dot sights, I would highly recommend doing something about that. The idea of night sights is a poor idea in execution, because if we can see the sights but we can't see the target, we simply can't shoot. So that makes them fairly meaningless. What most people do is use them to find them in the dark, and I would suggest not fumbling for a gun in the dark, but turn the light on so you can pick up the gun if you need to. But the other thing is, if I have 2 posts in the back and a post in the front, and then I have 3 dots, that causes visual confusion. And what I do in class is I come by with a Sharpie and I mark those out. If you have night sights, they're still going to glow through the Sharpie ink, they really don't care, but just have something on the front that you can pay attention to. Don't have all these extra dots and gimmicks and things like that. A narrower front sight is probably a little bit better than a wider front sight, because it'll block most of the target. And this will allow you to shoot at your highest level, because we want to line things in space, so we want to open up our vision and see everything that we can. I wish there was some way I could show you what I'm seeing. On your Mantis, you'll see this in the aiming apparatus. As you get closer, try detailed vision, stare at the dot, and see how much longer it takes you to line it up. And then open up your eyes and look at the front side of the dot and see if you're a little quicker at lining it up, see if your score improves on it. I think you'll see a big difference pretty quickly. Some of you are going to struggle with this because you like to stare at the thing. All right? Remember, if you can see the window, you can see the frame, you can see a clear front sight, but you can't see the target, it makes it very hard to manage the spatial awareness. Use your peripheral vision to do that. Open up the vision, get out of the detailed cone so that you can see better. All right, guys. This was your Mantis Dry Fire Monday, Active Self-Protection Extra. Make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment. I look forward to your interaction. Some of you, it's going to be hard. I know. You're really going to have to struggle with this because there's a lot of repetitions, a lot of myelination in this, but you'll get past it. If you want to shoot better, try something new, let go of that, and do the work, and you'll find that it's a big benefit to you. All right? So I'm Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant. And as always, measure, refine, and perform.